Welcome to Reach for Healing. I'm Rebecca, and we're on day 35 of our 40-day abundance journey based on the Abundance book by John Randolph Price. And if you've been following along on this journey, you know that day 5, statement number 5, is one of my favorites. And we journaled that on day 5, day 15, on day 25, and now one more time on this journey, we will journal that statement number 5. So I'm going to share my screen. We're going to get right to that statement. So here's statement number 5 that we will journal today on day 35. Money is not my supply. No person, place, or condition is my supply. My awareness, understanding, and knowledge of the all providing activity of the divine mind within me is my supply. My consciousness of this truth is unlimited. Therefore, my supply is unlimited. This is one of my favorite statements because the whole concept that money is not our supply is really anathema to the American way of being. And so we tend to think about what we can and can't do in this culture very closely related to how much money we have or don't have. And this statement really reminds us that money is not our supply. And if we can take that and make it an affirmation, so those times in our life when we run up against something where we realize that we'd like to do something and we don't have money, or we realize we'd like to do something and, oh, there's so much money involved. Stop right there and pivot to the statement: money is not my supply. There are many, many stories, both in my own experience, the experience of friends and family, and others, where there has been a need, there has been an ask, and the application of spiritual principle and the good that was sought has shown up. And it didn't necessarily show up with a check. And of course, I've told the story many times about needing a new roof to the tune of $15,000, and $15,000 didn't show up, but I got a new roof that I didn't have to pay for. I got a new roof, and money came to me to pay for that roof. I have talked about my someone in my family with young children who wanted to play the flute, and this young family wasn't sure how they were going to afford the purchase of a flute. And what happened is they stopped by to visit someone, an old neighbor, and the old neighbor, um, their former neighbor, said, "You know, what are you kids up to?" And the little girl said, "Oh, I'm going to join the band and I'm going to play the flute." And the neighbor asked if she had a flute, if they had an instrument yet. And the family said no, but we're looking into that. And the neighbor went upstairs and came down with a flute. So when I say that money is not our supply, I'm talking serious stuff here. If the need is for something like a flute and a flute shows up, it didn't have to be money. So when we open ourselves to being receptive, to receiving, however it will come our way, we will always receive. Whether it's a gift in kind, whether it's an unusual way for money to flow to us to take care of it, as it did with the tree on my roof and the part-time job. Other, I have, I remember a story from a few years back where someone was, they had just moved into a new area and were a little short on money and weren't sure how they were going to buy groceries before they got paid. And so again, they used the spiritual principles. And what happened is a few hours later, someone knocked on the door, and here it was a neighbor in the complex, the apartment complex, who was moving and had a bunch of food from their pantry and fridge, and they hated to throw it out and was wondering if they'd like a few bags of groceries. These are the stories that you will hear, that I have heard, that I've shared over and over and over from people who know the truth that money is not our supply. And so today, as we journal this fifth statement for the last time, it is my deep and sincere desire that you take this statement into your inner core being, and know it and speak it and begin to live from that, and watch how the magic will open up all around you as you realize, practice, and stand on the truth that money is not your supply. Hope you come back tomorrow for day 36. Until then, take care.